Hello, my name is Lain and I like to experiment with all kinds of AI technologies. I have been away for some time, but I am now back to making all kinds of videos related to Midjourney's latest versions. I was kind of expecting Midjourney to release version 5.3 or at least something while I was away, but to my surprise, things are still the same. So here is kind of a continuation to my video about cartoon styles, but this time we will take a look at styles that are inspired by anime. I am not an expert on what is considered anime, but here are some styles that at least to me look like they could be anime related even if they're actually not. So to be able to make your images look like this, I have prompted names of anime or anime-inspired series followed by one additional subject word. Those were tree, dog, chef and beach. The aspect ratio for all of these images is 9:16, just because I personally really like it the most. And I have used the seed 777 for comparison reasons, but it is simply just a random number that you don't have to use in your prompt. Feel free to mix and match these with other subjects or change the order of the words or add any separating characters between the words, they all slightly change the results you get. As I am not at all familiar with basically any of these anime series, I will base my commentary this time on how much I like the style of what comes out of Midjourney. I have added a random reference image of the actual thing, but this time I don't think I will be commenting on how much the end result resembles the original thing. But anyway, we will start off with a silent voice. Obviously everything I have chosen for this video looks pretty much what I would imagine an anime usually looks like, and this is no exception. I am guessing there is two main characters in this anime, because we keep seeing the same style of haircut and color in many of the images. The raw style does get less of that default Midjourney look. And I feel like this is a very character-oriented style, meaning no matter what subject you prompt, you only get a different background but pretty much the same looking people each time. Aeon Flux. I really like this style, it looks so cool. The trees are kind of more in the default Midjourney style, but the rest do get a kind of stylized look. The raw style looks even better in my opinion. It does look like you tend to get again just the same character in different settings, but the top left dog is actually different. So it may just depend on whichever seed you use. Akira. There is an obvious Japanese influence here and I really like the use of red color. This one also seems to not have so many characters in each image and more of the actual subject matter. But the downside is that the Midjourney default style seems to be seeping through more. The raw style also has the red color prevalent in most of the images. And I really like the dog images, especially the anthropomorphic ones. Castlevania. I really like the dark and moody and medieval look of these images. The beach images look also very different from the usual. And there also seems to be a lot of castles featured in the images, but it is to be expected. The raw style has kind of a mixture of different stuff, but the medieval look and castles seem to be the main theme in these images. I especially like the trees. And the beach images look like romance novel covers. Cowboy Bebop. I like the yellow stylized look of these images. The dogs look especially cool. Kind of a different lighting from the usual on most of the images. Raw style is also quite yellow and dogs look very awesome still. And this looks to be another one where the environment or nature images are filled with characters that possibly resemble some characters from the original thing. Devilman Crybaby. I really like how sinister these images look. Really dark also, and the red with black is always a nice fit. Also there seems to be some demons on those beaches there. The raw images look similar, but there seems to be less of the Midjourney default style in there. And this seems to be another one where we see lots of characters. That is kind of the downside of these, that you may end up with characters in your images that you might not actually want there. But there's also negative prompting to try out. Ghost in the Shell. Very robotic and somewhat dystopian look for these images. I think I like the dog images the most, but the beach ones are not that bad either. The raw style actually seems to take the same style, but make it partly more realistic or cosplay looking than the anime style. And there seems to be one main character featured mostly on all the images. Overall, possibly not exactly looking like anime all the time, but I like the outcome. Kaiba. This seems to be showing quite a lot of the Midjourney default style in there as well, with some hints of an anime look. I do really like the shiny trees and the awesome beach castle images. But the raw style on the other hand has a really distinct anime-inspired look. And mostly with a character with the same hairstyle and color. Kiki's delivery service. Really cutesy and soft. Red also seems to be a strong theme in here. I like the non-raw images slightly more, but these look similar, yet more either realistic cosplay or more 2D. And this one seems to feature the one main character most of the time no matter which subject you use. Miraculous Ladybug. Another one with the red, but obviously due to ladybugs being usually red. I do really like the look of these. And even if it looks nothing like the original namesake, it's fascinating how the combination of two words in Midjourney brings out an entirely different looking style compared to the default. The raw images have less of a sparkle in my opinion, but I absolutely love the two top tree images. But it also seems that you tend to get some anime characters in your images quite often. Molang. Really cute and quite different from the other stuff in this video. We seem to have some really soft and cute fluffy creatures here with this one. And as usual, the raw style goes either photorealistic or more 2D compared to the regular style. But another one that seems to have lots of the character creatures in different settings depending on what the other word was in the prompt. My Neighbor Totoro. We continue with some cute creatures, but this time they're green and possibly live in a swamp. Lots of characters again, and the dogs are kind of a stretch in my opinion, because they don't look anything like dogs. I don't really like the raw style this time. There is again a mixture of weird photorealistic images and some stuff that could be considered as anime. And a few characters that we saw with the regular style. Neon Genesis Evangelion. I really like the colors of these images. The neon is probably just neon and nothing from the original thing. The trees and the dogs look really great. The raw style also has some neon colors in there, but I think I preferred the regular style more. The dogs look great still. Perfect blue. I'm pretty sure that this doesn't really look like an anime style, but I like the tree and beach images so much that I wanted to include this one. I guess the raw style is the only place where the anime kind of shows up. But I think the realistic looking trees, dogs and beaches look very nice. The blue dogs are just something else. Ponyo. I guess this one is from the cute side of anime with kind of an ocean theme to it. Yes, beach is obviously also ocean themed, but there is water in the tree and dog images and fish in the chef images as well. The raw images look pretty similar as well, with again less of the 3D or Midjourney default look. Princess Mononoke. This one seems to be having a kind of red-eyed wolf theme. But there is lots of the Midjourney default style also coming through, so I don't think this is a very strong style, but it's kind of unique. And chef images I guess have the most anime look to them in the raw images. The beach could be considered as such as well. And the dogs seem to be cosplaying. Regal Academy. I think I may have discovered now why styles with academia in their name always tend to look like anime. It may be getting its origins from this look, or there must be more anime stuff with something similar in the name. Looks very pink. And yet again raw style looks similar with less 3D look. It is still looking very pink. Sailor Moon. I may have heard this name before, but I don't really watch anime. I really like the pink sparkly trees and the cute dressed-up dog puppies. The raw style continues the pink and blue style and the cosplaying. But there is some anime-looking stuff in the chef and beach images. And although I don't normally like it when some of the stuff turns up as some kind of art installations or statues, these tree designs look actually amazing. Samurai Champloo. I have a feeling that most images with the word samurai end up most of the time with red and brown colors, samurai swords and a really large sun or moon in the background. The raw style also has samurai and a really distinct looking stylization to the images. I like this. Serial Experiments Lain. This one seems to have a single main character again based on the haircut there. Maybe it's a hack how to create consistent characters, with the main downside being that they may look kind of similar to already existing characters out there. The raw style is quite similar again. I have a feeling that this style looks kind of gritty and sad. Maybe it's just the facial expressions I see in these images. Spirited Away. I may be wrong, but I have a feeling that this one features more Chinese-looking architecture rather than Japanese. Let me know, what do you think? I'm certainly not an expert on this topic and I have never visited either of the countries, but for some reason I have this feeling when I look at these images. And the raw style gives me the exact opposite feeling, so I don't know. Looks just like any generic anime if you don't really watch anime like me. Summer Wars. And this one really lives up to its name. For a brief moment there I didn't look at the name of this one and just looked at the images and got a total summer vibe from these images. There seems to be way more summer than war in these images, luckily. Raw style also has really happy and summery images, with blue skies going on everywhere and a light summer breeze for the dogs. I miss summer already. The girl who leapt through time. And there certainly seems to be a girl leaping somewhere in these images, quite literally. Most of the images look very similar to each other with only hints of whatever else subject there was supposed to be in the images. And raw images have mostly just a girl running in some of the images. The blue sky seems to be a strong theme overall. And these images also feel quite summery to me, just like the last style did. The Monogatari Series. A strong mixture of Japanese, anime and Midjourney's default style. It doesn't look like a straight-up anime in most of the images though. But the raw style looks completely different. It looks actually like anime. I really like the tree images. The Tatami Galaxy. I feel like this style is really colorful and patterned. Maybe Midjourney's default style is bringing on slightly too much detail into the images. And I do really like the color scheme of these images. Raw style looks pretty much the same, but yet again with less of the Midjourney look. But that doesn't mean that any of these images would look like the anime. There's just a few elements that are probably just vaguely similar, as I have observed in my recent videos. The Wind Rises. This is yet another one that looks quite similar to styles I have already seen a few times. And this may also remind me of the default Niji style as well. I didn't go into those in this video, but it's certainly an area to be explored again as well. But this raw style has a much more minimalistic look to it compared to some looks we have seen. And I feel like it looks like any other anime, but I may be overgeneralizing here. Trigun. Another red, dark and edgy style. I do love these, but I guess I'm getting a bit jaded already and want to see something totally new. But the raw style has an interesting lighting style. It's sunny, yet it seems to be kind of dark. Winx Club. Really sparkly and possibly a kind of Disney look instead of anime. But it looks really cute and pink and sparkly, so I love it. Especially the trees. I get where the raw style is going, but I think I actually preferred the regular Midjourney style on this one. but it is certainly a bit of a different look. Wolf children. Looks like your typical anime, but with wolves and I would say a little bit muted colors. And you get bonus children or wolves in basically all the images with this word combination. Raw style is pretty similar, lots of children, wolves and blue skies. But if you think about it, this is yet again a combination of two very common words, and yet it does do the anime look for it. Your name. And our final style for this video is this. I do love the lighting on these images, there's kind of a lens flare going on there which hasn't appeared for other styles for me so far. And I do love the sparkly trees. The lighting does have some lens flares even in the raw style, but I think I like the regular style more. But don't get me wrong, there's some nice images here as well. And it is yet again a really ordinary combination of words if you think about it. So here were the anime-inspired styles that you don't even have to use Midjourney to do. It might be interesting to see what Niji does with these, but there's so much stuff to explore still that I don't know if I will get to do that. I am still fascinated about how some really ordinary words combined together can come up with totally different looking styles. And it may explain why there's some random anime-looking things when prompting even the most regular stuff. It is because they may resemble the name of an anime or cartoon or video game or whatever else. And sometimes you just get really interesting amalgamations if there's other similar sounding stuff that Midjourney recognizes well. I do hope you found some interesting styles that you yourself want to experiment with, so let me know in the comments about that. And leave a like if you enjoyed this video and consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. I intend to get back to my regular schedule of at least posting one video per week. Anyway, thank you for watching and let's continue prompting.